So we'll begin on our back. And this will be a fairly familiar place for you because we'll start here or end up here in pretty much every class. And this in therapeutic sessions is called the ready position. So in the ready position, your feet are flat on the floor, your knees are bent, and you're laying down on your back. Now, what's essential here in ready position is that your feet are the distance, is a distance away from your bum where you can feel equal weight from the heels to your toes. So if your feet are too far away from your body, you'll only feel weight in your heels. Bringing the feet closer to the bum, you'll allow more weight of the body into your toes. We want to make sure that the feet are hip width apart, not too wide, not too narrow, and that the knees are also in alignment with the feet. So they're not falling open, they're not collapsing together, they're pointing up and in alignment with the hips and the feet. Now, as you are coming into this ready position and you're feeling into your feet, I invite you to notice, and it can be pretty subtle, if there's more weight in the pinky edge of the foot than the inner arch of the foot. And so what I'd like you to do is to just bring a little bit of pressure in through the inner arches, maybe like another 5%. So we're feeling a little bit more of an activation through the inner thighs. And turning your head from side to side a little bit, finding a neutral neck. So the chin is not jammed towards the chest, but it's also not lifting up. We've got a neutral neck, honoring the natural curvature in the cervical spine, the neck. Now let's take 3 deep breaths as we settle here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's do that twice more. And as you take that final exhale, letting go of any control of your breath, allowing the body to breathe naturally. Making any final adjustments if here you're noticing something's uncomfortable. And in this first session, the theme is embodiment and presence. And so with this theme, we'll be moving relatively slowly and not doing too much really today to see what we can notice in our body. And so again, rather than controlling the breath, if it's possible, allow the body to breathe without you having to do anything at all. As though you're watching the breath as a happening. And this breath is relatively shallow and gentle. And as you're doing this letting go of control of your breath, I'd like you to just become aware of your body. Notice the sensation of the weight of your body into the floor. Notice the feeling of the temperature of the air on your skin, the clothing on your body. Being aware of your body is an external experience. It's noticing the body from the outside. Embodiment is a completely different experience. And the example I often use is I can be aware of my coffee cup, but I cannot inhabit my coffee cup. But I can inhabit, I can live within, I can embody and feel more deeply, more internally in my body. Feeling myself internally, deeper parts of myself. And so we'll begin to move through the body in this way, just to notice what we notice. So beginning with the balls of your eyes, see if you can feel your eyeballs. Your eyes can be opened or closed, whatever you prefer. Perhaps now at this part of the practice, your eyes can be closed if that's comfortable. Can you feel your eyeballs? Is there sensation there? And how would you describe that sensation? Is it tingly, warm? Or maybe you can't sense. And that's okay too. So whenever and wherever we are working through our body to see what and where we can or cannot feel, it's really important to know that this is just simply a way of gaining information. It's not right, it's not wrong, it doesn't mean anything. It's just simply noticing. And from the eyeballs, see if you can relax the eyeballs. And see if you can go deeper, and can you inhabit and feel, live within your whole head. As if all of you, every part of you, all of your awareness was in your head. And if you can, what do you notice? What sort of sensations do you experience? And where? And if there's areas that feel tense, that you're unconsciously holding. So for example, a common place is the jaw. So let's bring our awareness to the jaw. It can be nice to bring the tip of the tongue just to meet the place where your front teeth and your gums meet, the back of your teeth. Just gently rest your tongue there. Let the teeth part, the lips part, the mouth open slightly. And for the back of the tongue to get heavy in the back of the mouth. See if you can consciously relax your jaw and your ears. And if you're like me, and this is a place where you commonly hold tension, it can be pretty challenging, and that's okay too. Just doing what you can to let that mouth open, jaw relax, even letting the ears relax as if they could soften towards the shoulders. Allow this to bring some relaxation into your neck and feeling, inhabiting your neck. And notice where you automatically go. Maybe it's the back. Maybe it's more the front, the throat. Are you able to access a felt sensation in your neck? What's the experience here? Can you consciously relax your throat? You may or may not notice how often you swallow. Do you need to swallow that often? Or is it an unconscious habit to swallow when there's not a lot of saliva to really swallow? Just notice. And bring this experience of embodying to your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. What do you feel and sense and experience? Is there a sensation or lack of sensation within any part of your shoulders, arms, and hands on either side? See if the arms and the hands can get heavier. As you bring your awareness into your chest, front, sides, and upper back. It might feel nice to take a deep breath into this place and sigh it out into the heart. Coming back to a natural breath. Do you notice in the chest? What do you feel? Where do you feel it? With these slower practices, it can be really easy for the mind to get bored. And if that's the case, that's okay. Just use the mind to help you investigate by labeling the sensation. Warm, tingling, cold, numb. How would you describe, outside of judgment, outside of any story, and then seeing if you can inhabit the chest? So can you find the deepest part, the most internal? So that wouldn't be your back, because that would again come to a more superficial place, but the very center, the innermost. Can you feel that place? Not as an idea, but as a felt experience within you. And let's bring our awareness now a little bit lower into the torso, to the lower rib cage, the solar plexus, the stomach. It might feel good to take a breath into this place. A big belly breath in and a sigh out. Letting the belly get really heavy as you come back into a natural, uncontrolled breath. Seeing if you can or cannot inhabit this place. Feeling yourself more deeply here. Notice if the knees have kind of fallen open or fallen together. It's a good opportunity just to correct, to feel your feet anchored into the floor, helping you to presence and ground. Can you find the innermost part here? Can you feel yourself and inhabit this place? Let's come down into the lower belly. Into the bowl of the pelvis, the lower intestines, the bladder. For any women, the womb space. Take a deep breath down into the lower belly, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Going back to that natural breath and seeing if you can find the deepest part of that low belly, the innermost place. Is there sensation? Can you find that deeper part? What about the hips? Can you feel and inhabit the hips? The buttocks? Can you experience sensation in the genitals? It feels safe to do so. What about the legs and the feet? What do you notice, sense, and feel here? Now, this level of embodied presence that we've cultivated at whatever varying degree, and for some this may be easier than others, and that's okay. See now if you can feel the whole body in this embodied, present way. Feeling yourself as we begin to understand that presence, it's not an idea, it's not a concept, it's a felt experience. And can we feel present and embodied in our whole being, every part of ourselves, from our head to our toes, all at the same time? As a pervading spaciousness, as Judith Blackstone calls it, within our whole being. Whatever level you have achieved here, I invite you to open your eyes to look up to the ceiling. Just find somewhere to stare at so the eyes don't get too busy. And see if you can maintain this same level of deep embodied presence with your eyes open. Don't let your vision get all blurry as you zone out. See if you can really bring awareness to the place that you're staring at. And as you hold your gaze at this place, keep your gaze fixed here and slowly turn your head to the right as far as feels comfortable. So the head is moving, but the eyeballs are fixed in their gaze. And then we'll slowly go to the left. Start to go back and forth, side to side, going relatively slowly. Holding your gaze on that place that you're staring at. Allowing the tendons and the ligaments of the eyeballs to get a little bit of a stretch. As you do this, can you still feel your body? And the next time the head comes to center, just keeping it here, taking a breath in and a sigh out. And slowly draw the knees into the chest, just hugging the knees in whatever way feels good, and start to rock your body side to side, really big rocks, just to help massage the back. We've been on the back for some time here. Maybe rocking the head as you rock the body, massaging the scalp into the floor. And then from here, bring the feet back to the floor. Open the arms out in a T position with the palms facing up. With your knees bent and your feet flat, lift the pelvis off the floor just enough to shift the pelvis over to the right and set it back down on your mat. Keeping your arms wide, lift the knees back up into the chest. And when you're ready, slowly let both legs come to the floor on the left-hand side for a twist. Now, depending on your back, your body, and how this feels, you may need to adjust in different ways to make this comfortable. Please honor your body. And if there's a different way to twist that feels better, please feel free to do that. Now, what I like to do here is to bring the twist deeper up into the thoracic spine. And a way to do that is to bend the left elbow, press the left elbow into the floor and the back of the head into the floor so you can lift the left shoulder blade off the floor and then shift it a little bit more to the left so you feel more space in the shoulder blades and a bit of a deeper twist in that thoracic spine. From here, that left hand can come on to the bent knees to help pin the knees towards the floor. And then from here, turn your head to the right, just as far as feels comfortable. Let's start by taking 3 big breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth, feeling the breaths in the belly to help accentuate this twist. And as you settle into this twist, the invitation is to relax into a relative amount of stillness and to explore your body with your awareness, your presence, and embodying in a deeper way. So as you're in this shape, what do you notice here? How does this shape feel? Where do you feel stretch, tension, if any? Do you notice that there are places that are not relaxing, that are maybe gripping or holding a little bit? Can you relax those places? Do you notice that these places that are holding, even though you relax them, they tense over and over again? This is a way to help reveal a holding pattern in the body. What do you notice? Keep watching. Keep feeling and sensing. Now as you're here, keeping your head where it is, look as far as you can to the left, stretching those eyeballs once again. Breathing a little more deeply as you do this. Keep holding your gaze as far as you can to the left. And then as far as you can to the right. As far as you can up. Again, head stays in center, just moving the eyeballs. As far as you can down. Bring the eyeballs back to center, roll the eyes in both directions a few times. And then scrunch the face, squeeze the eyes, take a deep breath in. Squeeze, 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 and let that soften as you sigh out. Beautiful. As you breathe, roll the head to center. Releasing grip on the knees if you've got it. Slowly and mindfully, however you're twisting, unwind from your twist. Planting your feet, lifting the pelvis, bringing the pelvis back to center and coming back to that ready position just for a few moments to notice what you notice. What happens as you untwist? What do you feel? What feels different since being in this twist? And then from here, we'll come to the other side, opening the arms again, lifting the pelvis, shifting it and setting it down towards the left side, left edge of your mat. Arms stay open as the knees come up into the chest. And slowly bringing the knees and the feet to the floor on the right-hand side. Adjusting as you need for this twist to feel most comfortable for your back, whatever that needs to look like. And again, a way to bring this twist more into the upper back, which is what we're really aiming to do. The low back and the pelvis don't really twist. You could press the right elbow and the back of the head into the floor, lift the right shoulder blade, and move the right shoulder blade over to the right a little bit more so you feel the weight come across the shoulder blades more. Right hand can come on the knees to pin the knees down and turn the head to the left. I'm just doing whatever feels good for your body. Again, twisting in a way that is sustainable, meaning that you can hang out here for a certain amount of time. Breathing deeply. Three big breaths. And settling in. Noticing what you notice, where you notice it. Where is the stretch most intense? Can you follow it all the way up? Where does it radiate to up the arm and the chest? Or does it radiate to down the hips and the legs? How far can you trace the sensation that this particular shape creates through the fascial layers in your body? Now from here, allowing the eyes to open and keeping the head where it is, looking as far as you can to the right, stretching those eyeballs again. See if you can keep the head and the neck relaxed as you do this. As far as you can to the left. As far as you can up. As far as you can down. And rolling the eyes in both directions a few times. And then squeezing the eyes closed. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Take a big breath in. And let that relax as you sigh. Breathing naturally, just a few more moments here. And slowly drawing your head to center. And slowly beginning to unwind, untwist, in whatever way is easiest for your body. Take your time. Come back to that ready position. Please resist the temptation to hug the knees into the chest. Just see if you can notice the unfurling. What's happening when nothing's happening? And then hugging the knees in, taking some rocks, giving the knees a really good squeeze in to massage and release any tension from the low back if twisting created some. And then either rolling to one side or rolling up we'll make our way to hands and knees, coming on to hands and knees with the palms under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, fingers are spread nice and wide. Now as you come here, let's start with an exhale to round the spine, tuck the tailbone under, bring the chin to the chest, really reaching the mid-back up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, drop the tummy down, lift the tailbone up, head up, chest up, opening through the front body. Start to move with your breath as you exhale, round. And as you inhale, open. Now as you do this, closing your eyes and then allowing from the felt sensation other movements to trickle in. Maybe that's rocking side to side. Maybe that's circling the hips. So just a few opportunities from hands and knees to move freely in the way that would feel good for the body. From the felt sense. So not what the mind thinks you should do, but from the place of embodiment of what the body intuitively needs. And then from here, tucking the toes under, and begin to sit your bum back towards your heels, walking your hands back as you come. Now, depending on the flexibility of your feet, you may need to keep some weight in your hands. Sometimes the pinky toes don't quite make the cut, so sometimes you have to tuck them under a little bit. And if you need to keep weight in your hands, please feel free to do that. If it's possible for you to lean back into the heels and let the hands rest onto the thighs, you can go for that as well. So sitting as deeply back into the heels as feels comfortable and taking some breaths here. Now, this is certainly not the most comfortable shape. And the desire to dissociate, to distract it's pretty strong. But see if you can bring your awareness into the feet, into the place where you feel the intensity, and be there. Can you meet it with your whole self, with your full embodied presence? Even when it's uncomfortable, intense, and this can be bordering on painful for sure. Can we still live within ourselves fully? Even when we don't really like it. staying with it as you can, if you can. And from here, scrunch the face up really, really tight, like an angry, angry face. Open your mouth as wide as feels comfortable. Stick your tongue out as far as you can and take 3 ha breaths through the mouth. One more breath in, relaxing the face. Take a sigh. Good work. Come forward, back to hands and knees. Untuck the toes and either massaging the feet into the floor or tapping the feet. From here, from hands and knees, slowly begin to shift over to your right hip, slowly setting down on the right hip, opening the knees and the feet apart. So the right leg is in front, the left leg's behind, knees are bent. From this place, the further you bring that front foot away from you, the more intense this will be. The closer to, the easier it's going to be. And it's the same with that back leg. If it's bent and the foot's sort of tucked in, that will be easier. If you start to bring the leg away from you, it's going to start to get a little bit more intense. So just finding whatever variation of the bent legs that feels good for you. Now from here, with your hands on either side of that front knee, begin to fold forward just a little bit and rock from side to side, just noticing the varying levels of challenge. So usually coming towards the knee and outside of the knee is a little bit easier, and coming more towards that front foot is a little more challenging. Now what we're looking for is oftentimes called the Goldilocks place, where it's not too light, it's not too strong, it's just right. Now just right means that it's not so strong that we're starting to feel agitated, but it's not too light that we're not feeling anything. And once we found that place, we could fold over as far as feels comfortable. Now for some of us, we'll be able to bring our hands maybe our forearms right onto the floor. For some, you may need a prop, a bolster, or something similar to lean on, and you're welcome to do that. Whichever variation you're taking, we're going to come again into that relative sense of stillness. Head can hang, or neck can be neutral, whatever feels most comfortable for your neck. And that same practice here, as we inhabit, we don't brace against or turn away from the sensation. Instead, we turn towards it with our embodiment. So as I presence myself to the place of intensity here, can I live within that place? My whole self, can it live within the tension? Bringing my unending, unbending focus, presence, and intent to this place. And as I do that, can I relax? Soften into other areas that may be tightening. melting in between the shoulder blades, bringing relaxation into the jaw, the lips, the eyeballs. Can I soften into this place? Without judging it, whether I like it or not. Whether I want to do it or not. Can I just be with my body and watch it here? Let's take a big breath in. Big sigh out. Slowly beginning to walk the palms up, coming back up. Taking a moment here just to notice and feel. And grabbing that back leg, bringing it around, and shifting over onto the left hip, sending the right leg back. Once again, finding how I want to position those legs that are best for my body. Again, closer to, a little bit easier, further away, a little bit more open of an angle, a little more challenging. And then from here, coming on to the tips of the fingers, again, rocking back and forth, finding that place. Not too intense, not too light. And once I found that place, folding forward, using a prop if I need. And once again, feeling in, meeting the place of tension with my whole self, with the felt experience of my body. Softening what I can soften, melting around the tension rather than bracing against it. Staying here with as much embodied presence as possible. Take one more deep breath in. Sigh it out. Slowly begin to use your hands to come up. Once you're up, just take a moment to notice, to feel, to witness. And once again, grabbing that back leg and bringing it around and finding yourself again in the middle of your mat. And slowly begin to roll back onto your back body, taking your time to get there. One more time, we'll bring our feet flat on the floor into that ready position, arms alongside the body. Pressing into the feet as you inhale, slowly begin to lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling, coming up into bridge pose. And as you exhale, slowly rolling back down. Let's do this with our breath a few more times. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, one vertebra at a time, lowering down. Moving at your own pace. A few more of these. Lifting only as high as feels comfortable. The next time you inhale to come up, we'll stay up, finding a place that feels good for you to hold this bridge. Again, only as high as feels comfortable for your body. Rooting your feet into the ground, making sure there's not too much pressure in the neck. And here we'll take 3 big breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, lift up just a touch higher. As you exhale, slowly come back down onto your back. And once you're down, just stay here. And again, feeling, noticing what you notice. What do you feel? And where do you feel it? We'll do this one more time. This time we'll take 5 of those breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. When you're ready, inhaling to lift up. Finding the fullest expression that feels good for your body. And when you're ready, on your own time, your own breath, 5 big inhales through the nose and sighs through the mouth. Last breath helps to lift you just a bit higher. And on that last exhale, slowly lowering down. Staying down, staying present. Notice what you notice. Eyes can close. Relaxing the body. Feeling what's happening here as the spine comes back to neutral after a deep spinal extension. Slowly begin to rock your head side to side, massaging the scalp, ear to ear. Arms can open slightly wider to where it feels comfortable. Start to windshield wipe your knees side to side as well. And then slowly come to center, hug your knees into your chest, give them a good squeeze, take some rocks, massaging the back body. If you have a pillow or a bolster, I highly recommend grabbing it now and bringing it just below your bum. So you're not actually on it in any way. It's just below the bum so that when we extend the legs out in a moment, it'll be there for you. Hugging the knees back into the chest, squeezing and rocking. And then when you're ready, squeezing the knees as deeply into the chest as you can. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lift your forehead up towards your knees and make yourself as small as you can, a tiny, tiny, tiny little cannonball. One more inhale here. And then sigh, slowly releasing back to the floor. Extend your legs out over the bolster. I prefer to have the bolster underneath the thighs to allow the low back to rest more deeply onto the floor. Let the arms open wherever feels comfortable. Tuck the shoulder blades down, not together, just down the back. Make sure you're not jamming the chin to your chest. Have the neck neutral. And allow yourself to come into a place that feels fully supported for you to relax. In our final resting pose, as an opportunity to fully integrate our practice. As you do this, allow the eyes to close, the jaw to relax, the eyeballs to relax. Feel the body get heavy into the floor as the jaw softens. As you bring the tongue again behind your two front teeth where the gums meet, just softly resting the tongue there, allowing the tongue to get heavy so that the lips and teeth can part and open, but you can still breathe through your mouth. Come back into a natural, uncontrolled breath. Feel the radiant sensation in your body. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? And there's no need to hold on to anything too tightly with the mind. Let the mind relax. Allowing yourself to relax so deeply that you shift from the beta waves of the brain into the theta waves, the place where you're not quite awake, but you're not quite asleep. Place where the magic and the mystery of the body takes over. Where the body is able to heal, regenerate, and integrate. Keep going, keep relaxing. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. As you tune in to the sound of my voice, resist the temptation to move just yet, staying in this still place. Notice your uncontrolled breath, how the body breathes when you're not controlling it. Feel the sensations in the body. Presence is not an idea. It's not a concept. It's an actual felt, embodied experience. Not the idea of now, but the actual sensation. Begin to deepen your breath. Begin to run your thumbs over the tips of your fingers, coming into a deeper sense. Wiggling your toes, your lips and your nose, wake up your face. Maybe reaching your arms behind you and stretching. Take a big breath in as you stretch, stretch, stretch. To go with a sigh. When you're ready, hugging your knees into your chest. Maybe rocking a little here. When you're ready, rolling over to whichever side feels comfortable into fetal position, bringing your arm under your head to support your neck. And taking this opportunity to offer gratitude to your body. These incredible bodies do so much for us. Put up with so much. And slowly, when you're ready, there's no rush. Remaining here longer if you need. Taking your time. Sitting up whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. Namaste.